Okay, I'm back with Borderlands 4. Um, we're just waiting for some updates here, and I'm in the little time that I come back and try this game out. Really, for me, it's just finding some interesting loot and some rare stuff, and just hopefully waiting for a significant. What we really need, in my opinion, is a massive overhaul and balance fix to the loot that we have. I mean, this is still, in my opinion, the best loot system in the franchise, but right now the balancing is kind of in a weird place, especially with True Mode, which I'm running here today. This new difficulty level invalidates things that may have been passable before. Now having your torch stickies, your bods, your dark beasts, I mean, the meta weapons are now even more important because of this mode. But I'm just running through here, trying something that's not meta, but does use some meta ideas, and it's just another way of playing Vex, I guess you could say, instead of just running the green tree and doing the same old, same old. Also, I never got a ceramic bod, and I feel like the moment I do, it's going to be a level increase. So I kind of just gave up on that. Um, so what am I doing today? Well, funny enough, the entire point I played Vex when I started this game was because of Blue Tree. I love having a clone that shoots your gun. I was a Gauge main in Borderlands 2. I was a Roland main in Borderlands 1. I played some Zero as well, and then I played Moze in Borderlands 3. But having a secondary skill that attacks for you or something that does damage that you can make more powerful, I've always liked that idea of separating your power into something else. This literally gives a copy of the gun. Now, I'm not hyper spec into the actual damage the Spectre does. It's more just a little bit helpful for this build, and I kind of like, and I'll show you what I'm going for in just a moment, but this build can certainly mob in true mode. Bossing, uh, it's a little iffy. I'm going to go over shortly what you need to do for bossing a little bit more, but basically we're just trying to maximize damage here, but also thematically we're tapping into Fire Vex. So this is not something you'll see all the time. We're doing more fire damage, incendiary. But the thing about Vex that people don't talk about, and this is what I hope they can maybe address and maybe buff, and you have 35% status application chance with Burning Attunement. That's a lot. That's a huge increase to your chance to proc incendiary damage. So, I don't know. This is a nice skill for fire-based builds, and I think of the elements, Vex's fire build is probably the best one outside of kinetic. So definitely this here helps a lot. And of course, we're boosting the damage as well. So I did put points into here. Now, you could spend the 5 points somewhere else. These aren't required points here. In fact, the status effect chance might just be better to use. And frankly, I might experiment with that, maybe put some more points back into Green Tree to maybe proc off the kill skills a little bit more, or the damage, but I'm going thematically here with the fire. That's the point. But we could, tinker around and whatever. It's not a big deal. And then recurrence, I'm also doing that because I did want to get the burnt offering. So now, what are we doing? Well, we're also tapping into Keen Suffering and, of course, the Heirloom Clone. Again, more status effect, critical hit chance. These two skills work very well together, in case you didn't know, because your critical hit chance is now, just here, is at 55%. So, you have a higher chance to apply the status effect, and then you have a 20% chance for that damage to be doing crits. Without, of course, specializations where I put a lot of points into killer. I'm just boosting those damage rates that those have, right? And we have more critical damage. This actually, oh, now that we're talking, oh, I might switch that out. Oh, okay, yeah, actually, I forgot to do that. There we go. There we go. I forgot to change that as we're talking. Now the build's going to perform even better, I think. So, hey, nice. Okay, so I forgot to do that. Green tree, again, just a couple of damage points just for mobbing purposes. I am going with bloodletter because we're proccing so many incendiary procs. I'm considering it more of a status effect build, and I think the damage here just scales a little bit better. So we'll see. I've gotten some good ticks with this, a couple 100,000 even, but yeah, it's not bad. So there we go, guys. That's the build. And now, why am I even playing this Vex? Why am I trying this Vex? Well, let's start with this. Before we say anything else, for bossing, you can actually you can toss out the beams here, the beam tosser beams. And with being a fire beam, this is really powerful. I do have a fire beam tosser. So this thing can do some notable damage if you've built up your kill skill a little bit and gotten your procs going. But yeah, this is nice. I also found this, which is funny, and I don't think it's good enough, but it had good damage numbers, so I'm just holding on to it as a rare item for now. But this has that little flame blast thing that it basically does about 8k damage per tick, for the better part of 10 seconds. So actually that beam can apply some interesting sustained damage. Not against shields. I just want to make that clear. It doesn't really work against shields. But here's the gun that does everything. A very rare gun, a rare find. I got a sticky Anarchy a while back, a fire sticky Anarchy on top of that. Now, the damage does not do, you look at 414 incendiary damage, 7% chance, that's trash. Not good. However, there are 12 applications of that damage every time you fire, and the stickies, you multiply damage by 1%, but as you add up this damage, it actually starts to hit some pretty awesome numbers. You can actually see it. This one has a TDO replicator. Oh, if it had Jacobs. I believe this can roll Jacobs. That would have been insane, but still a really cool find here. And of course, we're maxing out Deadeye and using, I did get a better amp watts since we last had a video where I recorded it. I did get a 100% during the event, so this has boosted my damage a little bit as well. You really got to boost your damage as much as possible with these non-meta builds. And a really good torque enhancement that I have here, just double, damage, crit damage, and splash damage with the head ringer. It's a very powerful enhancement, so something nice to use as well. Shiny War Paint, I actually don't need to use this if we're being legitimate on a higher difficulty. I might try something like my triple bypass. I don't need the war paint, although I'm going to hold on to it. So we'll just use it for now and have fun. So this is the area I like to farm. This area near this week's Maurice machine has some Ripper enemies, and this build is certainly better for your bandit style enemies. So let's go in. We got to start building up Anarchy a little bit. So we got to build up Anarchy. Oh, we have friends here. That's why my thing wasn't hitting. Okay. So let's see right here. Watch this. Hey, chain reaction. Let's go. See that shit? You see that shit right there, ladies and gentlemen? That's why I love this build, because the chain reactions are so hilarious. I haven't built up my full Anarchy yet. See, the amount of explosions this build can get off is pretty insane. All right, let's try this here, just show it. All right. Gone. See, that, I mean, you can go watch the instant replay of those damage numbers. That's not bad for true mode. I mean, we're in the hardest difficulty, and that's a vile enemy. Not bad. You know, it's not ultra meta, but it's not bad. I think anything that can farm in this mode is worth at least experimenting with a little bit. It doesn't have to be the greatest build ever, but I love getting those chains off. He has fire resistance. Let's see how this does. Gone! Ha ha! Gone! That change in the specialization was huge. I had forgotten to put that on when I tested this first. Okay, it's performing better. Let's go. Damn. Let's go! That's good damage! It really isn't bad, I'm telling you guys. That's respectable damage. That guy has fire resistance too. That's not bad at all. Alright, that's a weird bug right there. You see that? Why the hell is that happening? This region is buggy as hell. It just is. See that? I love this thing, man. I love this Anarchy. The thing about it is the fact that it shoots 12 projectiles, 12 sticky grenades, guys. That's insane. 12 sticky grenades with a big magazine too. So you get all these things off in a decent amount of time. I mean, fire rate definitely helps. I think war paint is a good idea. Of course, you can put whatever you want on there, but getting those stickies off, as we know, the idea is, hey, let's spam those grenades as much as those stickies as much as we can. Man, this whole area is buggy as hell. Like, why did they get stuck in the air like that? I have no idea. But it's just, they need to work on it. But there you go, guys. I think I showcased that pretty well. with that in mind, let's go look at some damage numbers. I'm actually curious now, and I'll do it live and see how it is. Um, but let's take a look. Let's take a look at what some of these explosions and procs are doing. Now that we changed specialization. Of course, you need to find a rare, thing like this. It's not, like, not everyone's going to be able to play this build, I understand that. But I always like finding off-brand builds and trying them out. We still have the 20 stacks, so let's just check the damage regularly. Let's get up here. So did you see that? So you're getting a couple 100,000 per, tick. Let's take a look again. Do you think that's pretty good damage? I mean, it isn't bad, is it? I mean, we're going into the many millions there after we unload a magazine on somebody. Now, not all of these hit. Low. Right? 300k flame proc. Okay. Now, let's show what the minion does if they shoot here. They don't. So Gearbox, some feedback. Make them shoot the target so you can see how much damage they do. Oh, there we go, it does. But it doesn't, like, okay, it does. Forget what I just said, Gearbox. Okay, hang on, let's try it again. Okay. So you see, it's not about like 4 million damage hit. It's about reaching 4 million damage and, spreading the love, which is what this style of build has to do. So now the point is, where might you want to use this? Again, flesh is your friend. I don't know. Ouch. So I don't know. I like the build a lot. Now, if I was bossing, I may change to a little more green tree representation. I might ignore this, actually. And hell, I might even ignore a recurrence, and I might try to get Witchy Finger. So Witchy Finger, I would need 6 more points for Witchy Finger. So this for bossing would probably be required. So just a little like heads up, if you really care about it, I'd probably say you do need Witchy Finger for bossing with this. Of course, it's Tedior, right? This is super meta. So at least getting this and using it as your capstone for bossing is probably the way to go. But I think still the clone idea here works pretty well. Let's test this now against a boss that's not fire resistant, or that is not. I always like testing it on Mad Ripper. He doesn't have an invulnerability phase, right? You can kind of just see the damage numbers. He has armor, so he's not ultra sensitive to fire. It's actually, a slight reduction in damage there. I think it's 75% damage, right? I'd have to review that shit. You want me to keep track of that? It ain't happening. Ain't happening, man. It just isn't happening. All right, let's go to the Mad Ripper. Mad Ripper after Taco Bell, you know, he, Alright. Should we fight the enemies outside first? Why not? Oh, we gotta get my damage back up again anyway, so yeah. I missed, god damn it. Alright, we're getting the damage up again. Beautiful. Alright, oh. Let's see if my minion take this guy out. Alright, so about 35,000 per sticky tick. You know, a tenth as strong, basically. So, I mean, look, it's not going to help you take down a boss, but it is helpful for mobbing and situational stuff. So, again, Witchy Finger's going to be better. Just please underline that in your notes if you care. Yeah. I think it's respectable for true mode. So I would rather play a suboptimal build that relies on much rarer stuff because that's more fun for me versus following just the pure meta. All right, let's give it a whirl. I could have reset my action skill, whatever. Oh! Alright, the fire, yep, there we go. Yeah, once the flesh is exposed, he's gone. Once the flesh is exposed, he is toast. Guys, I gotta tell you, that's not bad at all. It really isn't. What's this? Oh, it didn't have fucking stickies. Oh, well. It's a Malawan Ripper gun with a COV mag. Huh, a white gun. Great, in this difficulty. Let's try that again so I don't get downed. Let's see if we can do a better job. That was trash. But yeah, I mean... The one place this build, of course, is not going to be fantastic. Spawns 6, spawns 8 Merv grenades with a nuke. Really? Nuke? I've never found a nuke Merv before, ever. Well, that's a new one. What the fuck am I going to do here? I'm going to have to make a sacrifice. I might get rid of this. Actually, no, I'm getting rid of this. I got this from Maurice's machine. I don't really give a shit. I'm actually way more intrigued by the nuclear Merv grenade. That's interesting. Hold up. Let's see how good the range is before we make let's see. That's garbage. That's garbage. Well, at least I tried it. It was complete trash. We'll repick this up. I'm out of inventory again. It's brutal. But what are you gonna do?
to do this?
Oh, let's go! That was nice! That was nice damage. It was. That damage was nice. The status effect ticks really kicked in there. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Torg? Really? I've never... Oh, wow, we're finding rare gear here. So, you know what's funny about this thing? You could do like a nuclear sort of build. Only 6 shots, bro. I'm intrigued by it. I know it's not that good, but I'm intrigued. I'm interested. I found this one recently, which was really cool. It's a daedalus shotgun with the gyrojets on an assault rifle. Pretty cool. So this thing had a great damage roll. The only problem, it did not roll stickies. And unfortunately, I think I have to get rid of this gun. It was fun. But it's just not good enough, I'm afraid. I'm more interested in that than this. All right. Anyhow, I think that's going to do it for the video. That was a good look at the incendiary Anarchy Vex, which I'll call it Fire Anarchy. And there we go. So hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm fingers crossed for all of us that we get Borderlands updates that mean something. Hopefully, they help us with the leveling process, and cash is good, and they do a nice balance pass on the loot. We need a lot of these guns to be buffed, these legendaries. There's some really bad class mods and just not good stuff, and we need them to be buffed and made better. That's all I can say. Anyway, hopefully we get those changes soon, and I'll see you guys next time on Borderlands.